Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka and welcome to my vlog. Today I'm going to talk about the toxic work culture prevalent in India. And we're going to start with the case of Fenna Perel. She was a 26-year-old CA who was working with Ernst& Young. And within 4 months of joining the firm, she died because of overwork. And these are the contents of the letter, exact words of her mother. She wrote a letter to the chairperson of Ernst& Young India. Of course, the company has denied it vehemently, but I'm going to quote the words directly from her letter. She writes that, her daughter went through relentless demands, unrealistic expectations, bombarding work messages. She had to work through the weekends as well, and she was so tired that she would go to sleep in the same clothes as she was wearing for her office. She didn't even have the energy to change her clothes. Now you can imagine the kind of stress that she was under. Then she writes about glorification of overwork and anxiety, sleeplessness, and stress that her daughter was going through. In fact, she also says that, office people didn't attend her funeral, and that's just very, very alarming on a human scale that people, her colleagues who had spent 4 months with her, didn't have the time to attend her funeral. And that just shows the kind of world that we are living in. So, according to WHO, 7 lakh 50,000 people are dying of overwork each year. And the amount of stress that you are getting when you go to a workplace is the reason why you have increased, BP, you have an increased risk of diabetes, of cardiovascular diseases. So when you work for 55 hours a week, there's a 35% chance of heart stroke, and that just is a number on a paper because nobody is really paying attention to the kind of overwork that people are doing in India. And because we are a developing country, as a nation, we need to strive for better. So we really don't pay attention to the kind of hours that people are putting in, especially in startups and in big conglomerates. It's just a culture that is prevalent, that you work till you die. I think that is what people are not realizing, that productivity as such is not going to increase much because you have overworked and overstressed employees. But the thing is that no one is bothered because somebody else is going to come up and take up your job. You're easily replaceable, and that is the reason why people fear to speak up for their rights. But it is high time that you stand up for your rights, you start speaking up, because no one is really bothered in this nation to improve the work hours. I mean, there was a lot of hue and cry around Anna Perel, but there is nothing much that has happened since then, and it'll take years before the kind of regulation that you need might come into force. So now it is up to you to do something about the work culture that you're in. Identify toxic work culture. I mean, toxic place can kill you, of course, but more than that, it can also give you mental and emotional stress. And now, toxic work culture has a few things going for itself. Like there is groupism, there is favoritism, there is nepotism. Of course, you end up overworking too. You work through the weekends, you work through the festivals. Also, there is a tendency to shout out and make you feel vulnerable in front of your peers when you do a little bit of mistake. I think that's happening to everybody, but there is no sort of appreciation. People don't clap for you when you do a great job. They definitely single you out when you are not doing your work up to mark, and they do it in front of everybody. Your managers are doing it in front of everybody, and that is the reason why a lot of people are under stress, because they get humiliated in their offices very often than getting appreciated. Harvard Business Study, which came up with these alarming numbers. So 25% people that experienced bad behavior at work took out on their clients. 48% people said there was a decrease in their work intentionally. I mean, people were not willing to work more than what was required. In fact, they decreased their productivity. 78% people said commitment to their organization declined. Now that's a big number. 70% is a very, very big number. And 66% people said that their performance declined because they were not appreciated or they were overworked. Everybody knows, truth be told, that the productivity period is only for 4 to 5 hours in a day, maximum. Least being 3 hours, maximum is 4 to 5 hours where you can be productive. And now because you're sitting entire day in office, you're spending the night also there, you will find that, you know, your sleep cycle is gone. You are not eating well, not sleeping well, and you're stressed because you're sitting on a chair entire day for hours. And does this really help the organization in increasing their productivity? No, it doesn't, but it's still prevalent, and that is the reason why things need to change. So let's talk about how we can, you know, navigate through the toxic work culture. First of all, I would like to say that you can quit, because that's the easiest way out. I mean, if you're overworked, if you're tired, you should quit. Also went through a lot of toxic work culture. I was working with a top MNC company. It was very, very difficult for me to understand at the beginning that I was in toxic work culture, because when you are just fresh out of MBA and you want to, you know, prove yourself to the world that you are doing amazing, you spend a lot of time trying to prove yourself, and that is the exact kind of mindset that these big corporations are looking for. They want workers or achievers, and that is a reason why, you know, you face a lot of difficult times because you don't know how to say no. And you cannot say no because you have taken up a loan for your higher studies, and also because, you know, it's a thing of prestige that you're working for big corporations, and you've landed a very cushy job. So you want to prove to the world and prove to yourself that you can do better and you can change the culture. But at the end of the day, you can do nothing, because the top leadership is toxic, and because they're toxic, it percolates to everybody down. You know, experience this kind of toxicity in work culture. At least for the next few years, when I went into the company for the next few years, I absolutely regretted my decision of joining that company, but I couldn't leave it because I didn't have the courage. I was misdiagnosed and I had jaundice, and I almost came back from the brink of death because I was misdiagnosed, and I kept going to the office because I couldn't get leave. And it was very, very bad at that time. I was in a very bad condition. And that is when I understood that, you know, no one is there for you. You have been slogging so hard and nobody really appreciates you. No one is bothered that you've fallen sick. No one is really bothered about you. You're easily replaceable. And that's exactly what a lot of people are experiencing these days. This work culture where, you know, 5 o'clock in the evening, when you had to clock out, your manager would come and say to you that, are you leaving at 5 o'clock? Because for her, 5 o'clock meant half day. She used to say it vehemently to everybody that, you know, you cannot leave at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock means half day, and you've clocked in at 8 in the morning, and 5 is your, you know, time stipulated by HR that you should leave by 5. But even the HR was very, very much aware that the entire team or entire flow was staying back, and nobody took action around it, because, you know, it was all about billable hours. It was all about the money that you can bring into the corporation, and no one was really bothered about whether you were getting enough sleep or whether you were able to eat home cooked meals. And in my case, I was staying in a PG, so there was not even an option of home cooked meals. I had to eat outside food, and that is the reason why I fell sick. And it's happening to a lot of youngsters. You know, they move away from their homes because jobs are not easily available there, and then they move to big cities and they live alone. They live in PGs, and anyway, the food is bad. It doesn't give you the energy that you need to work, and now you don't even get to sleep, and that's how you fall sick. That is exactly how you end up losing your life. because of the mental, physical, and emotional stress that you are putting yourself through. And you know what? No one is bothered. No one really cares. Once you're out of the system, no one will look back at you. No one will ask you whether you're doing well. No one will really bother about you. Understand that uh, no regulations are coming in to help the employees. It's all about helping the big corporations because they bring in the money and you are just a cog in the wheel. And that is the reason why you need to understand that you need to look out for yourself, because no one is really going to look out for you. You need to understand that you have a work relationship with your peers, with your colleagues. But if, let's say, you are in a company which has toxic behavior that is very, very much prevalent in the top leadership, so now it's going to percolate down to everybody, and everybody is going to mimic their leadership. And that is the reason why you will face a lot of toxic behavior in your peers and your colleagues. And if you are somebody who's facing toxic behaviors from your colleagues and your peers, there's groupism, there's nepotism, there's favoritism, then you're going to find it very hard to succeed in such environment. You cannot flourish in a bad energy environment. If there is bad energy all around you, you should actually quit that environment. Of you who still want to endure this toxic behavior and want to stay in this company because you have long term plans, you want to become partner, you want to reach the level of a director, and so on, you need to understand that first of all, it's going to take a toll on you. It's going to take a toll on your personal life as well, because you will be overworking, you will not spend quality time with your family. And still, if you want to go ahead and continue working there, then you can speak up to your managers. You can have the courage to tell them that this is my limit. But usually what happens when you start speaking up, you get fired. Now there are a lot of people, and in case of Anna Perel also, she was encouraged to change the manager's thinking. But the thing is that you cannot change the thinking of someone who's really, really corrupted in their mindset. And that is the reason why a lot of people go through stress in life, because they take up the onus onto themselves to change the people around them. Now the onus doesn't lie on you, it lies on the person who is behaving badly. But of course people don't understand that, because people have this really bad idea that they can change somebody. But that's not going to happen in real life. You cannot change people, you cannot change the work culture as such. So if you are somebody who's trying very hard to change the work culture, you're always smiling, you're always happy, you're always complimenting your peers, there are those kind of people too. They come to office with a high energy and they want things to change around, because they feel that they work in great organization and they don't want to quit it. So they feel that maybe they can bring in some change, but it doesn't happen usually. If you're working in a toxic culture, first of all, you need to start seeing the signs of stress in your life. If you're mentally stressed, if you're emotionally stressed, if you're physically stressed, you're overworked, then you need to quit that job, because that job is not above and beyond your life, because you will end up losing your life to stress. It might not happen today, it might not happen in 1 month or 1 year, but that stress is going to wreak a havoc in your body. So if you want to live a long and healthy and fruitful life, you need to decide for yourself, what is more important. Is it the money? Yes, money is important. Yes, you need to pay the bills, you need to pay your EMIs, but not at the cost of losing yourself. Companies are doing work hour violation. A lot of people, they end up working too much for too long. And if you're working in such a company which is violating work hours, even though they know that they shouldn't violate those work hours, they should not let an employee work more than 8 to 9 hours in a day, then you need to quit that company, because they know that you are quite adjusting, that you're waiting to stay till 12 or 1 or 3 in the morning, And that is the reason why you still have that position, because the day you stand up and say, I cannot work for so long, you'll be fired. And companies in certain work cultures, worker violations are very, very important. If you have worker violations, you will not get your next job. But it is not happening in companies that can skip this. So for such companies, they should have stricter policies, internal policies that look into these worker violations. The HR should make up such policies, because if you want to increase the productivity of your employees, you cannot overburden them with work, and you have a really good people in your basket. You have really intelligent, hardworking people in your basket, but if you do not appreciate them, if you do not look into the worker violations, then you are going to see a decrease in productivity. So for corporations, they need to understand that they need to have stricter policies in place, and they need to adhere to these policies. What can government do for our citizens? And it's a very simple thing that they can put in place. They can have a third party independent regulatory body that can look into these worker violations and other violations as such, and they can have a penalty put on these big corporations. And I think that's a nice way of earning money too. So they need to look into this matter very, very seriously. Big corporations where there are a lot of people working in, they can have a psychiatrist. Some of them do, but not all. Is mental health and well-being is very, very important, and these companies should look into the mental health and well-being of these employees that are working for them. And I hope you liked my vlog, and if you liked my vlog, do like, share and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.